Good morning. It's Sunday, March 9th. I'm Lisa Evers in the Fox 5 newsroom. Thank you for joining us live on the Fox Local app. We begin with the latest on the eastern Long Island wildfires. Officials say the fire is 80% contained. As of now, one fire is still being fought, the one in West Hampton. Officials say no private homes have been damaged and no evacuations ordered, but they do say the threat remains with the windy conditions. A 14-year-old has been charged in the killing of a Newark police detective. The detective has been identified as 26-year-old Joseph Ascona. Authorities say the teen suspect shot at Ascona and another officer before they could even get out of their vehicle. The second officer remains hospitalized. Checking the forecast today, sun with temps in the low 50s. Tonight, mostly breezy. Tomorrow, warmer and sunny. There could be a new solution to the seemingly never-ending battle between pedestrians and cyclists in Central Park. Fox 5's Teresa Priolo shows us the plan to overhaul the crowded loop.
The Great Central Park Loop, a historic part of Manhattan known for its 6 miles of paved roadway. Perfect for a walk or run or even a bike ride. The only problem is sometimes all of these things happen at the same time in the same lane.
Depending on if there's like a big group walking and I just got to run around them going to the bike lane. So, you know, people definitely don't follow it always.
I feel like this lane should be more wider because there are some people who are also like just touring the Central Park and there are people who are actually running. So we have to like move out in this bicycle lane. So I think it's kind of dangerous.
The loop was created around the Central Park Drives, that's East Drive and West Drive. When they were designed in the 1880s, the only concern was horse-drawn carriages. Then came cars, and now e-bikes. The multi-million-dollar redesign aims to reconfigure the space for 2 main users, those on bikes of all kinds and those on foot. There will be a lane for walkers and runners, a slow bike lane, and a fast bike lane.
We thought it was time to really take a fresh look at who's actually using the drives and try to create a set of road rules that make sense to people.
The redesign tackles East 90th and East Drive all the way to West 96 and West Drive. There have been 41 reported crashes in Central Park involving e-bike or micromobility vehicles from July of 2022 to June of 2023, and 46 from June of 2023 to June of 2024. And so the time has come to rethink the road. This loop will be modeled after the improvements made to Prospect Park.
I can see them wanting to update that, especially for new safety concerns like e-bikes and stuff like that.
As for the actual road work, it'll begin on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. It's due to conclude by the end of April. In Central Park, Teresa Priolo, Fox 5 News.
Governor Phil Murphy is seeking federal funding to fix the nagging sinkhole on Route 80. The governor declared a state of emergency in Morris County to have access to the funding. He made the announcement Saturday as he visited the portion of the highway that was affected. The sinkhole first appeared on February 10th. Since then, a significant void has been found under the eastbound lanes of Interstate 80 in Wharton, extending the time it will take for repairs to be completed. Crews have been working around the clock to address the problem. Gen Z and talking on the phone have always had a bumpy relationship, but it's gotten so bad that a professor across the pond has started teaching a seminar on how to properly make and receive phone calls. Fox 5's Jody Goldberg has more on why so many young people are dealing with telephobia.
Being just a phone call away isn't reassuring for everyone, especially for those who struggle with telephobia, also known as the fear of making and receiving phone calls.
They find FaceTime easier because it's the lack of visual clues that actually intensifies their anxiety.
The anxiety-inducing experience recognized by Liz Baxter, a careers advisor in the UK, mostly impacts Gen Z or today's teens.
I'm not surprised that it's a thing.
A U-Switch survey found nearly 70% of people ages 18 to 34 prefer a text to a call, with more than half assuming an out-of-the-blue call means bad news.
They want to receive a question, have 10 minutes to think about it, and then send a voice note or a text because they can manage that, they can control that. Whereas on a telephone call, you ask a question, understandably you expect a response.
Please choose one of the following options.
Call customer service these days, and more times than not, you'll get a bot on the phone well before an actual agent.
They make it so easy to not have to talk to people.
It's not necessarily a good thing, according to Baxter, who says college students are struggling with the skill and prefer other methods of communication that are less immediate and intimate.
How are they expected to get this skill if it's really difficult to actually telephone companies in the first place and have someone actually pick up the phone and speak to you?
And so these days, it's most common to ignore the call and then follow up with a text or a voice note to initiate the conversation a different way.
My call log consists of, majority of times, missed calls that I have.
Well, not everyone has the fear.
I enjoy it.
Yeah, I talk to my family on the phone all the time.
If you do, Baxter shares suggestions to stay dialed in.
You can make notes because no one can see you. Just make sure you can commit your attention fully to focusing and being in the present.
A connection made that's helping people find their calling. On Long Island, Jody Goldberg, Fox 5 News.
A rally to save a landmark church on the Upper West Side yesterday. The administrators of West Park Presbyterian Church on West 86th Street want to sell the building to a developer. The people who want to save the church say it's home to the center at West Park, which is a thriving nonprofit arts community. Well-known lawmakers and actors are among those who want the church preserved.
This city and the arts and culture and worship and faith and community, all of these things are and have been always vital to the history of this city.
I also depended on buildings like this when I was a kid to learn sports, theater, everything.
Supporters also say demolishing the church will destroy one of the city's last affordable spaces for artists, performers, and cultural programming. Well, pop superstar Harry Styles is reportedly in talks to become the next big name to do a Las Vegas residency. The New York Post reports the singer is closing in on a deal to bring his act to Sphere. Word is that Styles would commit to doing as many as 35 shows at the venue owned by James Dolan. Reports say the residency could begin by the end of this year. It's unclear how much Styles might get paid. When Sphere opened in 2023, it was headlined by U2, who was guaranteed a minimum of $4 million a show. The United States State Department issuing new travel warnings for some popular spring break destinations. The most recent one is for the Turks and Caicos. Fox 5's Meredith Gorman takes a closer look at these new security concerns.
A Level 2 travel advisory has been issued by the U.S. Department of State for those traveling to Turks and Caicos, urging those heading there to exercise increased caution while traveling because of crime. This advisory is just one of many affecting popular travel destinations.
Most of the Level 2s that we have down in the Caribbean area in Mexico also includes Bahamas, Cuba, Costa Rica, Belize, the Dominican Republic. So there's a lot of areas that have Level 2s.
At Newark Airport, I asked travelers if they would reconsider making plans to travel to certain vacation hotspots because of advisories like this.
Depends where we go, if I research it a little bit and then I'll, do my, just research it, and if it looks good, then I'll go.
I might reconsider just because I want to be safe, and I'd maybe feel a little bit unsafe in a different country if there was travel advisories and stuff like that.
If you are planning on traveling to one of these places, Coffee says you should take precautions. Some of his travel tips include walking in groups, talking to your hotel and finding out what areas are no-go areas, being careful in bars and drinking situations due to the risk of drinking tainted alcohol. And for college students, they should consider sharing their locations on their cell phones with others.
Knowledge and information is power.
This advisory coming right as tons of college students are set to hit the road and head to the airport for spring break. Reporting from Newark, I'm Meredith Gorman, Fox 5 News.
Take a look at this. A tiny black bird was spotted on a Galapagos island for the first time in nearly 200 years. When Charles Darwin first discovered it, researchers found the birds frolicking in the lush brush in its native Floriana Island. After conservationists removed its invasive threats, including wildcats and rats. The last time this creature was spotted was back in 1835, making it something worth tweeting about. And that does it for us this morning. I'm Lisa Evers. Have a great day. Remember, Fox 5 News is always streaming here on the Fox Local app.